Alright fellas, so here we are back in Pokemon Masters, and obviously it's a different kind of video. It's one of the videos where I like to discuss problems with this game, because as much as I do like playing this game, honestly, I get a lot of enjoyment out of playing this game. I love making content for it. Whatever, right? I really do enjoy playing the game, enjoy making content, just enjoy entertaining people with the game, and I enjoy discovering new things about it, and everything like that, but I'm not saying that the game is like the best game ever, with zero flaws or anything like that, because the game definitely has flaws. 100% has flaws, noticeable flaws, all of it, right? The game has flaws, and we need to address them in some sort of capacity. This is not my first issues video, of course. If you remember, a couple weeks back, I would say, around that general area, I recorded a video going over unit reruns and how reruns have become a little bit of a problem in the game, and how they need to be, kind of maybe revamped or, overhauled or something like that, and make a better system for unit reruns. So there was that video. That's its own separate video. I'm not going to address it anymore. If you want to go watch it, go for it. It's got a like classic Elisa, Dojo Gloria, Signature Steven in the thumbnail. You'll find it. It's fine. So this video instead is going to go over sync grids. Sync grids is one of the most fundamental parts of this game. Sync grids are like half of a unit's strength capabilities, in my opinion. I don't personally have a problem for the most part. I haven't really looked at his grid, but I don't really have a problem with Champion Bede's grid here, at all. But you look at his base kit, he does a lot here, and generally a unit's grid is another massive part of what they can do, right? Like, you see what Bede can do here, and then you can see what he can do here. Like, oh, has Team Sharp entry, he can max crit in essentially one turn. He's got Hostile Environment for chances of freezing. He's got the ability to raise defenses by double the amount he can normally buff them, right? He's got a lot he can do, and a lot more that is that's increased by the fact that he gets a sync grid, and the sync grid is able to unlock a lot of abilities. That's why a lot of Pokemon Masters Day characters, well, before they kind of finished up with most of the units' grids, that's why they were, going from nothing to great, right? Let me think. If you want to think of a great Masters Day grid expansion, I don't know. I'm not going to say she's great, but think of Cheryl or something. Cheryl, in my opinion, why is everything grayed out? Okay, sure. If you want to think of a great Masters Day character, look at Cheryl here. Look at her base kit. She's got this stuff, but then she's made a lot better by her grid from Pep Rally, trying to move Master Healer, trying to move NPR, Hostile Environment on Flamethrowers, solid, right? Healthy Buffer can be decent. She's got quite a lot of stuff that she can do here because of her grid, and that makes her a lot better of a unit. I've used Cheryl quite a bit for a lot of free-to-play runs and stuff like that, and I just find her to be a solid unit, and 90% of that is because of her grid and everything that she received from it. Also, damn, that is a low defense stat. Holy shit. Wow, I did not know it was that low. Anyway, so I want to look at some major examples of why sync grids have started to become a problem. Sync grids themselves are great. They are. Sync grids themselves, awesome. One big problem is the energy limit. The energy limit for sync grids is such a major problem for quite a few units, and basically literally every unit in the game, technically, but there's a lot of units that could benefit from having, extra sync grid energy added to their tiles. The biggest offender, in my opinion, is any of these Pokefairy units that have gotten both 4 out of 5 and 5 out of 5 Pokefairy nodes and a grid expansion, which I believe so far isn't it just Lance and Cynthia, I believe? Cynthia obviously being the first. To my immediate recollection, it is just Cynthia and Lance. But these units are a massive example of why we need this upgrade to grid strength. Because this is too much. You have 60 energy to pick up all of this. When it comes to Cynthia, you want to pick up Ramming Speed. That's a necessity, practically. You want to pick up Surging Sand 3. That's a pretty big one. Look how much it takes just to get to it, though. You can't even pick that up. You straight up can't even pick that up just due to how little energy you have available to you. Haymaker, you want to pick it up. Sandblaster, of course, you want to pick that up. And then you're left with 13 energy, which could, of course, be used, in many ways, but you can use it in more ways with more energy. If you wanted to build the best Cynthia grid, you want these sync nodes. You'll probably want Critical Strike 3 on Slash, Critical Strike 9 on Slash, and already I'm out of energy. I haven't even done anything to connect these nodes, right? Look at this. In order to actually connect all of those nodes, minus 24 energy. It's insane. Now, Cynthia, even without like all that grid stuff and whatnot, like if you took hold on, let me just okay. If you took away all of this energy here and you just got like Haymaker, Sandblaster, ramming speed, and the sync node, Surging Sand 2. I have to actually think of another one. Can I pick up the Surging Sand 3? I guess I could try, but honestly, probably not even worth it. I'll try, I guess. Yeah, like I could pick up this type of grid here and get all this stuff, and Cynthia would be good. Her damage is solid, you know, Surging Sand 2, Surging Sand 3, ramming speed. Then for Sync Nuke, she's got a Sync Node and Sandblaster 5, Haymaker and whatnot. So she's doing solid on that end. She's doing solid enough. Whatever. Honestly, probably be smart just to pick this up. I couldn't pick that up. Damn. That's quite upsetting. Oh well, it's fine. It's whatever. It's proving my point even further. But Cynthia here, you can get a lot of good stuff with her grid, and she is going to be good with this grid. She will be doing a lot of damage and whatnot. Of course, having picked up that, and she's going to be solid, but she could be better made even with plus 20 energy or something like that. Add 20 energy to her, and she becomes good. Because look at everything you want to pick up. Critical Strike 9, Critical Strike 3 on Slash. First Sync Defense all -2. Sure, pick it up, right? Dust Kicker. You know, you want some Sandstorm? You know, there you go. Sand Alert 5, extending Sand Duration? There you go. We're already at -46 energy. Stomping Tantrum, I wouldn't really even use, so fuck that. Sharp Entry, nah. But mostly, for the most part, you would want to pick up a grid like this, right? But you can't, because energy limits. Energy limit is a massive problem for this specific character right here. Again, of course, you could pick up a lot of this stuff and make Cynthia good, but you have to really sacrifice a lot of stuff in order to actually get this right, or in order to get like a working sync grid. You'll have to sacrifice a lot. Like a lot of grids that I see going around are, of course, damaged Cynthia grids, and while you do have the option of Dust Kicker and Sand Alert 5, 22 energy just for that. You're not going to pick that up. You're not likely to pick that up. You're probably going to use Cynthia with Ingo more than anything. So I feel like if you're going to do anything, you're going to pair her with Ingo, and the sand stuff is going to be basically useless, even though maybe it shouldn't be. Maybe you should actually, you know, be able to pick this stuff up and not have to use Ingo and use Ingo somewhere else. It would benefit a lot of units. Would they realistically like want to do this in order to make these units stronger? Maybe not. I don't know. Like maybe they wouldn't want to do it just because making units stronger, they'll save it for later or something like that, and like for power creep or whatever else. But I do feel at least some of these older units, they need a grid expansion in order to really, or not grid expansion, like more sync grid energy in order to actually utilize everything that they're getting. I really do think that's a problem. You can see that with like every, for the most part, pretty much every really big expanded grid. Like, oh, sorry. Like Cyrus, it's quite a bit less of a problem for Cyrus. But pick up Catastrophe, the sync nodes, where is it? Critical Focus 2. Guess we'll go for Sharp Entry 1. And then we're Spatial Ramming Speed right there. Could I pick up all of this? Seems like not. It seems like I cannot pick up all of that. And that is kind of weird, right? I would want to pick up all this, you know, if I'm going to use them for dragon damage. I want to use Catastrophe 2, get a Sync Nuke in there. I would want Ramming Speed, of course, for damage on Spatial Rend, obviously. But I can't pick everything up. I'd have to sacrifice, I don't know, Sharp Entry or something like that, which, you know, can really help out Cyrus in getting his crits off. And then, you know, building up his crit to max with, you know, Critical Focus 2. Or like First Aid 4. He could really use First Aid 4 and remain sustainable. There's a lot of stuff that these units can benefit from. A lot of these even lesser units could benefit from just getting, you know, a little bit more sync grid energy and stuff like that. Like look at Zinnia Salamence. Like if I want to go for a sync nuke grid here, which is what this is, I want to pick up Double Down. I want to pick up Power Posture for, you know, sync nuke, or not sync nuke, DPS. Pick up Harry 3 for some DPS. Terrify 1 for, you know, extra nodes to activate Power Posture. I want to pick up some of this stuff in order to actually make these units stronger. But I can't, and they just kind of remain a little bit mid, because in my opinion, I like Zinnia Salamence a lot, but sometimes they can be really, really mid just due to not having a lot of stuff that can really help them out, and also the fact that their grid, you're limited in picking certain stuff. You're limited to choosing a Sync Nuke or a DPS grid, whereas neither are really all that amazing, but if you were able to actually get both Dragon Rush related stuff and her Sync move related stuff, then you could do both with Zinnia and make her a little bit better just overall, instead of having to, you know, kind of work around it. I went over Cynthia. Cynthia is one of the massive players. Lance, of course, is another massive player. It would be so amazing if Lance could be completely self-sustainable in terms of, like, healing, like, get like initial injured recovery, get all 6 sync nodes, you know, get Furious Brain, Haymaker, Critical Eye would be nice, of course. You don't need Sharp Entry. You don't need Sharp Entry, that's fine, but still, you're not able to get all the stuff that you would really want to get with Lance, just due to sync grid related stuff. Even if you wanted to get, like, even this type of grid, let me, how did I do that again? I need to remember how I actually did this before. I know I got a grid similar to this. Oh, well, I don't remember. Oh, yeah, get rid of Critical Eye too, or Critical Eye. But you can get a grid like this going, where he's got a lot of damage, but then you're missing out on the initial injured ferocity and the initial injured recovery, where Lance would be made a lot better if he's able to be this self-sustainable. It'd be very, very nice with that. Make him a lot better of a unit just in general. But you can't due to the energy restraints, right? It can be a real problem. Look at Champion Hop. I actually wanted to pick him up. He's a newly released unit that would only benefit from 10 more energy. As it stands right now, you have to sacrifice something with Hop. Whether it be Brain Teaser for more DPS, or like you would lose that DPS bonus, or Smarty Pants for the less of a sync move boost, you would be missing out on something with Champion Hop. Whereas if you were to just have 10 more energy to play with, you would be able to get everything for a sync move, and you'd be able to get everything for his, you know, Thunderous Kick, Buddy Thunderous Kick, you know, DPS related stuff. It's just kind of a problem to me. In my opinion, it really is a problem. A lot of units you can, there's a lot of units, obviously every unit would benefit from having a sync grid buff, like going, you know, look at Raihan here, he can get Drought Alert 3, max flare damage boost, you know, sync move damage boost or something like that, or, you know, disarm for utility, max countdown for a little bit of utility, max Whirlwind, you know, Sharp Entry 1, Mind Baller for, you know, special defense debuffs. Why not? He'd become one of the best utility units in the, you know, he already is a really, really great utility unit, but he'd become like 10 times better with like even a little bit more grid energy to work with, you know, being able to apply, you know, sand extend duration, drought or sun duration, solar you know, solar sync, that's something big for setting sun, lower special defense, lowering attack and special attack. There's a lot that Raihan could do here and benefit from with extra sync grid energy. And it really would help out a lot of these worse units, in my opinion, too. I'll have to look at a worse unit. Who would I look at as a worse unit? Because a lot of these units, I feel like I'm going to be a little bit picky here. Would Phoebe benefit any? I don't know. Honestly, Phoebe doesn't really get much as it is. Phoebe's a little bit weird. Phoebe's a little bit weird like that. I don't know why I specifically searched up Ghost. But you do get my point. A lot of units would benefit from having these type of sync grid expansions and being able to do like a lot more of being, and have to, you know, not be super hyper specific in what they can do, right? They would benefit a lot from it. Also, I'm just trying to find someone. Will here. Will's already, you know, decent, but he could benefit a little bit more. Get that Fortuitous would definitely be very, very nice, you know. Getting that stored power stuff in, Mutually Assured, that could be nice. Air/Aggravation if you really wanted to do it. Confusion Synergy, even if we don't pick up Air/Aggravation there. Stop hitting yourself, that's a pretty big one for extra damage. And then yeah, you'd have to connect it all, but you can't. You cannot connect all of that. Even again, 10 extra energy. You can benefit from that. A lot of units can benefit from all this extra energy in their sync grid. Obviously, every unit can, but a lot of units more than others, especially, you know, Lance and Cynthia. They really need that extra sync grid energy, in my opinion. Is there a way to alleviate this without having to just, you know, raise the cap from 60 to something else? Sure. Make this stuff cheaper. Like, especially for these big grids here, like Lance and Cynthia's. Lower the cost of sync move energy from, like, 5 to, like, 3. Lower these power nodes to like 1 because they're just little power nodes. They're not going to do much. Maybe lower them to 2 or something. Even every little bit helps. Every little bit does help. And these friggin' 8, 10, point nodes here. I'm pretty sure there's probably even a 12 one in here somewhere. I have no idea where, but there probably is one. You know, all these random 10 and 8 point nodes, while they are good and they can be, you know, considered valuable from, you know, valuable for the amount of energy that they're worth, lower it down to like 5, dude. Lower it down. Just let us get a little bit more stuff with these characters. Let us be able to do a little bit more, have a little bit more diversity with these characters in terms of their capabilities and whatnot. Just let us do a little bit more. Let us do a little bit more. Maybe I didn't portray myself a little bit. Maybe I didn't portray myself very well in this video in terms of explaining what I want, but bottom line, I just want extra stuff to work with in the sync grid. I want to like maybe have lowered energy costs for some of these nodes. I want to be able to either, or you know, just get extra sync grid energy in general. I want a lot of these characters that I like using, instead of having to potentially split between going like a full damage route or a full nuke route, I would want to go maybe both, or maybe pick up a little bit of utility stuff along the way that would be very, very nice for them. How about Lysander? Let's think about it. Let's see here. Grand entry. Yeah. Alright. HP advantage 2, sure. Might as well, right? And then, here, I'm left. I'm already left with this stuff, even though I want to get, you know, brain power. Critical strike 3. Downside up, which would be very, very nice. Very, very nice thing to have for, you know, his trainer move and whatnot. And then HP advantage 2 from, you know, just extra bonus damage. Harry 2 would be nice. Dark Pulse aggravation. And at that point, I could even get rid of the sync nodes, but still, I wouldn't have enough energy. This guy definitely benefits from, I'm going to pick that up because it's literally the cheapest. Actually, no, that's the cheapest. But yeah, like, a lot of these units, still, they benefit from this. Lysander and Yveltal, I would want to go for all of their damage-related stuff and just try to capitalize on as much as possible. I would even probably want to pick up this other Dark Pulse aggravation, you know, take that 40% chance with this aggravation to a 60% chance. Try to maximize a lot of these characters' abilities, because in my opinion, Lysander and Yveltal's 4-5 and 5-5 grid expansions were solid, but not worth candying them. I would not candy them. Is it good? For sure. Yeah. Definitely got a lot of great buffs there, but I can't pick up all this stuff. I would want to pick up all this stuff, but I can't. That's a big problem, in my opinion, with 4 out of 5 and 5 out of 5 grids, is that most of the time, the stuff costs 8, 10, 12 energy to get, but you can't pick it up because it's so expensive, and you need other things in the unit's grid. You need other things in the unit's grid to actually, you know, make the unit work better, and the stuff that they offer in their 4 out of 5 and 5 out of 5 grids, while good, is not a big enough compensation for me to have to get rid of, you know, 10 energy points in order to actually find it worthwhile to use. Anyway, that was just a little bit of a rant. Don't know if you agree with me or disagree on this, but I do think the energy limits in sync grids should be increased, or, you know, the cost of these certain nodes should be decreased. Like, Stat Reboot 4 being 10 energy, 50% chance of returning the lower user stats normal when it is in a pinch. When it's in a pinch, 10 energy for that? No, that's worth maybe 4 energy. When it's in a pinch and you have only 50% chance to proc it, no. That sucks. Plus, he's not even able to debuff his stats that much other than his trainer move, and you have downside up, which costs literally the same amount of energy to get. It's insane. Yeah, a lot of these nodes either need to be lowered in price or cost, or we need an energy cap limit. One of the two things has to happen, in my opinion, and I think we're approaching that moment more and more each day with the more and more, you know, grid expansions that we're getting for each unit. Like, we got Caitlyn's grid expansion here. Where the fuck is she? There she is. That's a little bit big of a grid. Obviously, Caitlyn's grid expansion even afterward isn't all that great, but I would still prefer to be able to pick up some extra stuff to help her out as much as she possibly can get, like Super Freebie or something like that, or Move Gauge, well, move gauge boost, I don't care. Move Gauge refresh on Psychic or something. Just making it a little bit more, a little bit better to use these lesser characters, right? That's all I'm really going to mention, honestly. Don't have much else to say about it. Upgrade sync grids in some fashion, make them better just in general for units, make it easier for us to get a lot of better nodes with them and whatnot. I don't really care how you do it, other than monetizing it. If you monetize it, then that's just not really that great. But yeah, anyway. I'm going to end it there, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what you think about sync grids and their current standing, I guess, down in the comments below. Do you think that sync grids and the like energy costs for nodes are a problem? Tell me why not, whatever, right? I'll see you all later.